All right, y'all. A lot of things happened while I was away, and it's not that I didn't want to record, but it just so happened that I was not well prepared. I overestimated the internet, and not only that, I also was not really prepared for the different um electricity usage there. Like I'm used to 230-volt on 50 hertz, and Morocco has 220-volt. And using all my equipment to record didn't really work out for me, but I found this out too late, so I was not well prepared, and that's why I was missing the past 2 weeks, but I'm back.
Welcome to the GBA podcast, where guilty by association meets gritty, blissful ambiguity.
Welcome, everyone. I'm back at it again. GBA is officially back, episode 8, and this is the place where guilty by association meets gritty, blissful ambiguity. I'm your host, Neeesssss, and I have some interesting topics. Yes, I'm so excited. Some of them are frustrating, and some of them are interesting, and some of them are thought-provoking, hopefully. So please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure to follow on social media, and hit us up wherever you can. And we're also obviously available on the streaming platforms. Shout out to the team, shout out to the supporters, shout out to everybody. Let me begin. So since I was MIA the past 2 weeks, I was enjoying my holiday. I was having a lot of fun. The world didn't stop, obviously. Why would the world stop for me? Absolutely not. But there is something that happened, and I understand this has happened a few weeks ago, and we are in the fast food consumer society information and news, but it's still something that I want to talk on. So Sohaila Benzeman is the first female soccer player to play with a headscarf in the World Cup recently. The FIFA banned it due to injury possibilities, and the basic equipment is supposed to not make any statement, like religious statement, political statement, or anything, but they lifted the ban after campaigning and trying to convince the FIFA to allow women to actually wear what they want to wear, in the sense of if that's what they feel comfortable with. Because I don't know if a headscarf is really that disturbing. So anywho, so Sohaila played, and once again, an ignorant French journalist by the name of Philippe Hubert decided to make a statement on this and say that Sohaila wearing the scarf is regressive, and it's indicating that the other team players who are not wearing the hijab are indecent. Really? That's all you had to say? That's all you could come up with? This is so lame. This is like saying, okay, somebody goes out in booty pants and a bikini top, and now because other people don't do it, now they're indecent. Like, what are you trying to say with this? How is this regressive? How can we not wear what we want to wear? And it's so interesting to me because I feel like Nike came out at some point with their own hijab line, which really bothered me, to be honest. I know some people are bothered by this, others are not. I feel like, you know what, this is kind of like, why are you coming into my culture? Why are you coming into my thing, trying to inappropriate our thing, when in reality you have a problem with us, but you still want to take our money? And to me, this is absolutely lame. It's what I always speak about, the whole contradiction, the whole hypocrisy. You know, one person gets a pass, next person does a similar thing or the same thing. They don't get that same pass. They don't get the grace. And I just wanted to speak on this because y'all journalists really need to take a backseat. Like, y'all really need to take a backseat. And it's proven, y'all, because the normal media, y'all suck. Y'all really, really suck, because y'all don't know how to be neutral, how to talk about a story, and even if you give your opinion sucks because it just has no leg to stand on. It's just absolutely dumb. There is another player called Rizlan, also on the Moroccan team, and she was asked by a BBC journalist. She said, so I know that homosexuality in Morocco is illegal, but are there any gay players in your team? And if so, how do you feel life is for them? Really, dude? This is so what happened to IQ and EQ and like common sense? What happened? Like, are y'all high constantly? What is going on? Seriously, who is telling you to do all of this? Who is actually, you know what? Like, there is a thing between doing a job and, having to dumb down to do a job because you've been told by the people that you work for. Bro, if homosexuality is illegal in a country and you ask, are there any players? Do you really think if there were any players and the girl was aware of it, she is going to come out and give you names? And then she's going to speak on how life might be difficult for these people in a country where homosexuality is not legal? He did apologize because there was a lot of backlash, but the BBC, y'all not been doing a good job of late at all, if ever. At all, if ever. I think, like we're speaking about feminism, and true feminism is non-existing anymore, because that new thing that y'all call feminism, bro, there's only weird people who want to be part of this. And I just want to say this again. This is a podcast that I'm doing. This is my opinion. This is my personal point of view. I feel like being judgmental is one of the worst things that we humans do, or are. I feel like you should allow people to live their life the way that they want to. Now, you can come at me now and say, okay, well, then how can we not live our life if you illegalize the way that we want to live our life? That's not in my hands, bro. That's not in my hands. Okay. And if a country decides to have certain laws and to go by them, take it up with the people who put these laws in place. But I will just sit here and I will say, it's always easy to cancel and judge people and, have an opinion on people when A, you don't know the full story and you have a lot of information missing, and B, being effing ignorant. This is really something that gets to me. Like, cereal, stop already, man. So there's this really sad story, and the story stood out to me because this is something that mainly we females do a lot. I want to say some men as well, but I mainly see females doing that. We all, especially those who suffer from acne-prone skin or pimples, like regularly pimples due to hormone issues or whatever, hormone imbalance. We sit there and we always pick our face. We always try to squeeze a pimple, always try, to get this out, because this is like being self-conscious about, your skin, or being insecure about it, and there is a case that was recently, I think it recently happened. It's an 18-year-old girl. Beatrice is her name. She's from Santa Catarina in Brazil. And she had a pimple for some days. And this pimple really bothered her. I mean, 18 years old, of course, your girl is going to bother you. It's going to bother anyone. But yeah. So one day she decided that she wanted to squeeze the pimple, which she did. And then a little later, her face started swelling. She didn't think anything of it. She was just like, okay, whatever. So she went to sleep. And the next morning when she got up, she couldn't even move her mouth. Her face was too swollen. Like, she couldn't even open her eyes. The parents took her to the hospital and she went under some tests. And the test results revealed that she was suffering from a staphylococcus Staphylococcus aureus bacteria infection. And this Staphylococcus aureus bacteria is something that is on everybody's skin, is can get into your organism through open wounds and scratches, and obviously pop pimples, which happened in Beatrice's case. This spread out through her body, this infection, and the sad part is she died a few hours after being admitted to the hospital. And I just wanted to talk about this case because, as I already said, many of us just randomly pick pimples, and we could be just like sitting there, not our hands washed or anything, and we just sit there and squeeze our skin. And this is the one case where it completely went wrong. And I feel like we always say, oh, it's not going to happen to me. Oh, it's not going to happen to me. Oh, it's just like once in a million or whatever, but I feel like this is exactly the problem, having this thing where you feel like, oh, it will never happen to me. No, it doesn't happen often. No, it's not a real thing or whatever. This can quickly backfire. I'll tell you that. I learned the hard way, that anything can happen to you too. Who are you to exclude yourself? So wishing the family and the friends a lot of strength, because this was actually, I don't know, maybe preventable had she known better. Well, maybe she knew and she ignored it like the rest of us. I don't know. Now coming to a very interesting thing. So China cyber regulator came out with some new ideas on how to prevent or how to cope with internet addiction, which is indeed a real thing, y'all. It's a real thing because I see this. I see the young generation, they're literally addicted to their phone. I see my 12-year-old, 13-year-old niece. I see her friends. I see kids, generally teenagers, even us, everybody is almost like too much on their phone these days. But this is the way to stay connected. This is the way how we get entertainment. This is the way how we get information. It's just what it is. But China is coming out with some ideas to deal with it. And so what they're saying is teenagers at the age of 16 or between the age of 16 and 18, you can use your smart device for like 2 hours a day. And the kids between 8 and 16 years, wait, what, can use the phone 1 hour a day. And the little kids, the little tiny kids under 8 years old, just 8 minutes a day. I think I also saw a report where it said 40 minutes a day. But I'm not too sure because they're still debating on this until the 2nd of September this year. Of course, parents are allowed to make some adjustments here and there for emergencies or for any type of exceptions or however, and there will be no internet for the kids between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. It's supposed to be a suggestion to the parents, and then they can choose to implement it or not. So Alibaba and other applications are already seeing the difference in usage. They say it's just going down, and the gamers can only play for 3 hours a week. So for a gamer, I can understand it's probably the most annoying thing. Like, I'm a gamer, I'm streaming or whatever, if they're allowed to stream in China. I'm not, I don't even know that, but they're saying this is absolutely important to act on internet addiction, because it does have a lot of bad side effects such as fatigue, sleep impediment, eye strain, mood swings, all different type of craziness. And what they're also encouraging the apps and the app stores to have a minor mode on the app to remind everybody that their time is up, their screen time is up, and also remind them to rest for 30 minutes after using their phone. And Taiwan is also suggesting less screen time for teenagers and kids because it's really too crazy, you know? And if you don't, this is the crazy part. They're also suggesting a fine of $1,600 if you don't obey, but at the same time they're saying the parents should be able to implement it or not. South Korea is also looking to implement no gaming between 12 and 6 a.m. And what do you guys think? Like, do you think this is a good idea? Is this a good idea to curb the internet addiction? Because I mean, honestly, we do spend a lot of time on our phones. So I don't know. I think some of it could really actually help. Now coming to something that was actually really interesting to find out for me, because so I do love honey. I love honey. I refrain from the honey from the supermarkets after finding out that most of the time is some sugary syrup put together sold to us as honey. I understand that Manuka honey is very pricey, and a lot of people say that Manuka honey is the best honey in the world, and I would like to beg to differ, because I did learn that actually the number one honey in the world is the Yemeni Sidan honey. It's literally liquid gold with a lot of health benefits and properties. And the honey is very special and very rare because it's only harvested twice a year, and it's in the mountain region. So this is a honey that's definitely, I haven't checked the price yet. I know that, as I said, Manuka honey is a little pricey. So the Yemenis honey being harvested only twice a year, I can only imagine it's going to be probably twice or triple as much. But, you know, with all of this fake food out there, we do have to invest in our health. You know, that's all I'm going to say. Not to this crazy story of Mahek Bukhari and Ansarine, her mother. Mahek Bukhari, for those who don't know, is a TikToker with a good amount of followers, and she was doing things and going places with her 45-year-old mom. I think Mahek is 23, but you know, as soon as, you know, as fast as you can rise to fame, if you're not really, I don't see, this is the thing, right? I want to say some things, but I can't say some things because I don't want to be taken down. But I just want to say karma sometimes hits hard. Let me leave it at that. So Mahek Bukhari and her mother Ansarine they went through a trial. The first trial was a mistrial. So they tried them again, and now they're guilty for unaliving Saqib Hussein and his friend Hashim Ijazuddin. So the mom, Ansarine, had an affair with Saqib. And Saqib, when she ended the affair, Saqib didn't want to accept it. And he decided to blackmail her with some pictures and videos, you know? So then she just went to her daughter and said, he's going to destroy our life. What are we going to do? And there is actually text messages, and Mahek says to her, don't worry about it. I know some people. He's not even going to remember what day it is. So they lured Saqib to this parking lot to meet them. He didn't want to come on his own. He brought a friend along. When he came and he saw two cars, he got suspicious. And then he drove off, and then the hunt began. They were chased down by some dudes in a car with balaclavas, I believe. They hit a pole, or they were crashed into. However, they died, and mom and daughter have been convicted for unaliving, and 2 other men also convicted for this unaliving. 4 others were convicted in 2 counts of manslaughter, and I think there was an 8th person who was cleared. The sentencing, the sentencing will be in September. Wow, this is absolutely crazy. And I really wonder, like, what is going on in people's heads? Like, okay, you have an affair. Okay, you're blackmailed because you're stupid enough to have an affair. And with a guy half as old as you, like when they met, I think he was 18 and she was maybe 40 or something. But to me, that's not even the crazy part. I mean, do what you do, whatever makes you feel good. But it's just, the thing is, I guess they had such a great relationship. I don't know what's going on with the dad, but you destroyed. I don't know if they have other kids, if Mahik has other siblings. Like, you destroyed literally your own life, your daughter's life, or they destroyed it together, their own lives, and possibly what she could have become. But just this evil nature of, I know some guys who, can basically do stuff and he's not even gonna know what day it is. I get it, like, I get the outrage. Oh my God, this guy is blackmailing you, but take some accountability. People are always quick to blame somebody else. People are always quick to push responsibility on others. But why, if you have an affair, do you allow somebody to take pictures and videos? This is something I never understood. All this nude culture and sex video culture and whatnot. You're sending pictures of yourself to dudes, and then when they end up online or making the rounds, you are devastated about it. I'm sorry, but that moment these things get out your hand, it's not in your control anymore. Because people that you feel you can trust, you don't know, because people can turn on you easily. And clearly this guy also being a little bit crazy, thinking that he can blackmail her, because he wanted, so basically he gave her some gifts. I think accumulated, it was like 3,000 pounds, and he wanted that money back, or his gifts back. I don't know. It was a whole childish game that turned so serious so fast, and 2 people lost their lives. People are being convicted. They're definitely going down for this. Other people's lives are being destroyed. It always baffles me how quick people are to just like unalive people like it's nothing these days. Really sad. Ah, moving right along. So we talked about lab-grown meat a while ago, how the meat is being literally taken, stem cells from chicken or other animals, mixed with some amino acids and whatnot, and put in these reactors. And weeks later, you get them out, you shape them, and then you sell them to people as meat. And apparently, you taste no difference. Now, that industry is growing. We don't only get lab-grown meat, we get 3D printed chicken nuggets. So KFC partnered up with some Russian scientists to create a different type of fake food. Welcome to 3D meat and veggies. So it's not just meat, it's spinach, broccoli, all type of veggies that they're looking to print with the 3D printers. So, and this is how it works. You take some cells from chicken, for example, make it into a paste with some other ingredients, maybe, and then you put it gently on a 3D printer and turn the paste into sheets, and then you stack sheet on sheet on sheet on sheet, multiple layers, and turn it into cubes, and then form your chicken nuggets. And apparently there's no difference in taste. And the crazy part is this is gonna be the norm, y'all, because due to sustainability, environment issues, global warming, yada, 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 we need this. And the sad part is this stuff is not even healthy. According to some nutritionists, it can be made healthier, but they simply don't do it. Guess why? Probably too expensive. And why should we? it's crazy to me how this industry is really, you know, getting more and more and more and more. And although some people say I don't mind it, I would eat it. There is plenty of us who say no to this madness. Thank God I don't eat meat, but the fact that they're attacking my veggies now, I'm not really happy with it. And it's really, really nuts. That's all I can say. So a name that graced the media in the past week like nothing else, especially in the British media, was Lucy Letby, or is Lucy Letby, because people still talk about her. So Lucy Letby, 33-year-old nurse, finally sentenced to life with no parole for unaliving 7 babies between 2015 and 2016, attempting to alive 6 more babies because she was a nurse working in the neonatal ward. The unaliving began, I think, in June 2015, where she poisoned people with insulin, not people, kids, babies, newborns, with insulin, injected them with air, or overfed them with milk. And the crazy part of the story, although it's horrific and terrifying and sick and really, really hard to speak on if you picture this fully in your mind, like, the thing for me is that there are 7 consultants, 7 pediatricians who voiced their concern. It stood out to them that these babies always died when Lucy was on shift, to the point where Lucy was moved to a different ward, and management of the hospital told these pediatricians, these consultants, look, we're putting Lucy back in her old job. We're bringing her back to the neonatal ward, and you guys need to stop bullying her and stop making these outrageous accusations. We're not going to get the police involved, and apologize. And there will be a serious line drawn if you continue to do so. So Lucy came back. She wrote a letter. These doctors were forced to apologize, which they did if they wanted to keep their job. Nevertheless, they never really stopped, being concerned and voicing that concern. And the crazy part, it took the management 2 years to get the police involved, which is nuts to me. And my first question was, so why didn't they go to the police directly? But it's not actually always that easy. When you come to think about it, going to the police and saying, hey, there's a nurse that works with me in the neonatal ward, and every time she's on shift, babies die. Yes, it is a high number of baby deaths, but you cannot prove it. So this is the crazy part of it, and there's allegations that she apparently did that because she was in love, she had a crush on a doctor or whatever. And her friends and neighbors talk about her and say what a great person she was, and she took salsa classes, like that says anything about anyone. Oh my gosh, yeah. Psychopaths, they know how to cover up very, very well. She fundraised for the hospital. She had a full-blown social life. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't say anything. So after searching her home and finding a journal, finding also handwritten notes by her stating how evil she is and that she doesn't deserve to live because she's not good enough to care for them, and that she unalived them and whatever. This was obvious proof that this girl is not kosher, how they say. And one of the doctors called Robbie Jerem, who definitely is very, very vocal about what happened, also said that it's actually crazy that the management, put Lucy first, prioritize staff before actually investigating. I mean, an investigation doesn't mean that you are saying that somebody is guilty of. It's an investigation, and the police are still investigating because there are some other babies that didn't make it, and it's really, really crazy. I believe, being a jury in this case must have been absolutely, absolutely horrific. Um, Goodness. And the thing is, she's 33 now. This happened like 7, 8 years ago when she was in her mid-20s. God knows what else she did before or after all of this. So between 2016 and 2023, I don't even know right now when she was arrested, but there is a lot of time in between and a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. I'm just saying. But this also brought another question that other people are also fighting for, because this is really crazy. I feel like a lot of people, they who are, let's say, family members of the victims, they come to court, and for them it's important to face the person who unalived their family members, in this case being the babies, or there's other cases being, grown up kids, older kids, or brothers, sisters, whoever. And for some reason, the system gives for some reason, the person gives the, I'm sorry, guys, this is really, it's a little bit triggering for me to speak on this. So again, the system gives the person who unalived these people who actually did this, they give them the choice to be in the courtroom or not. And a lot of people are saying this shouldn't be a choice. Like, I need to see this person, I need to face them. I understand that. For me, I don't know if I would need to do that. Honestly, I don't want to, I couldn't bear to listen to somebody admitting to how they did what they did. But I don't know. It's different for everybody. I just feel this should not be a choice. Like, why are you trying to protect this person who did this? And this person is the sole reason why there's suffering going on, why we're here, and why this is taking place. You should have no choice in nothing. And this is my God honest opinion. No choice in nothing. Oh, what is going on? Oh my gosh, my Siri just decided fix this button. What? Bro, what's happening? I don't know what's going on, y'all. Hilarious. So, there's also another thing that I wanted to speak on. Although I actually, so I'm not a Britney Spears fan, and Britney Spears is definitely a pop icon. She's been around since forever. We kind of like all grew up with Britney. We all know her music, voluntarily or not. We know a Britney song. We saw her grow up, and we saw these people more or less grow up on TV, in the media, and Britney definitely is part of them. And she had her breakdown very early due to the lifestyle and everything. And then she was put under a conservatorship from her dad, which took forever. And this conservatorship came to an end after she tried to fight it. Britney got married to Cam Ascari, or Ascari, or whatever his name is. Quite frankly, I don't even care. Because he doesn't seem to be the most the most honest and truthful person. Anywho, they've been together for 7 years. There's rumors coming out, like his ex coming out. He got together with Britney while he was still with her. So he's a dancer, choreographer, whatever he is. And obviously these people are highly motivated to get in the limelight, especially when you have such an icon like Britney. Although I feel like over the years, due to her mental issues, the breakdown, the conservatorship, and all the um meds that they put her under, like the lithium, which really literally eats your brain cells away. We can see that in the way that she talks and the way that she reacts. It's actually really, really sad. And I feel like, this whole thing that's going on and not knowing who is, real and who's not real in your circle, it's maybe hard for her to also figure this out, because people are good actors and you never really know. I just hope that she can heal from this. And I just want to say, it's really crazy, like every time we talk about something, we understand that sex sells, but it's always something sexual going on with Britney. And then the Instagram has been taken down, and then it's back, and then it's down. I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. And I feel like all these people talking about Britney, she still got a lot of supporters and a lot of fans. That's great. But it's just fact that this girl is not herself anymore, and she's definitely not what she used to be in the sense of glamour, if Britney even was glamorous, because to me she was just a country girl who could dance and who was forced by her parents kind of to be in music. She's not the greatest singer. She might be a great performer, but nowhere near great next to some other good people. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on this briefly. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm just saddened by all of this. That's all. But I have a fun fact for this week before we're closing out, and the fun fact is so weird. So the human eyeball reaches its full size at the age of 13. It's really interesting. Why 13? This is such a random number. Had you said 10 or 15? But then again, I don't know. But 13. So your eye grows until you're 13 years old, which is really interesting. I don't know if there is actually any visuals to this online. This would be actually interesting to find out. If you have a child and you want to you wanna observe this, how their eyeball grows, if you can even see that. I don't know, but I just thought it was funny. So with that, I'm closing out, y'all. I'm done. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we work on getting bigger, better, and more entertaining every week. So see you soon, and don't forget to